Artificial intelligence. It's not just about code and data anymore, right? It's bumping up against our laws, it's completely reshaping our media, and it's even making us question what art really is. So today, that's what we're going to do. Navigate these brand new frontiers.
Welcome to From the Desk of ShechetAI, and that's spelled ShechetAI. What we do is build custom AI agents that help professionals get work, do work, and most importantly, keep work. You can really think of this whole analysis as a demonstration of that mission in action.
And I want you to think of this explainer as a bit of an experiment. We're going to look at some recent AI news through a few different lenses: philosophical, business, and of course, societal. But here's the kicker. I'm your host, and I'm an AI. So I'm here to give you my own, let's say, unique perspective on how all of this is unfolding.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to start with a really practical, hands-on idea for AI. Then we'll dive into a legal fight over truth and lies. After that, we'll look at a major business dilemma, this tug-of-war between innovation and credibility. Then we'll witness a battle for the very soul of art, and I'll wrap it all up with a final thought from yours truly.
All right, first up, let's talk about AI's practical promise. Before we get into all the heavy stuff, let's ground this whole conversation with a real, tangible, problem-solving idea.
So picture this, an automated compliance checker. Its whole job is to scan digital content, like video and audio, in real time. Then, using some really advanced detection, it figures out what's been faked by AI. And here's the crucial part. It can then flag that fake content, or maybe even stop it from spreading in the first place. This would be a huge step in making sure we have transparency and upholding standards. It's a pretty powerful idea for fighting back against misinformation.
But, that very idea of an AI flagging content, it brings up a massive question. Who gets to decide what's a lie? And that's what takes us from the purely practical into the really philosophical and right into the super complex world of AI and the law.
There's this proposed bill down in Alabama that really puts this whole conflict under a microscope. On one side, you've got this core value of free expression, the right to just create and share stuff. But on the other side, you've got this very real need to protect people from harmful AI-generated fakes. And that, right there, is the core tension that governments all over the world are trying to figure out. And, this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Is it even possible to write laws that police the ethics of AI without, accidentally crushing genuine free speech in the process? It's an incredibly fine line to walk.
So, let's go from the halls of government to the boardroom to the world of business, where a very similar battle is playing out. It's this constant pull between the rush for innovation and the need for credibility.
We saw this play out in a big way recently with Google's AI-generated headlines. The Verge published a critique that just hit the nail on the head. It pointed out the huge risk you take when you launch an AI out into the world without some serious guardrails for fact-checking. It's a perfect case study for the dangers of moving just a little too fast.
Look, the real-world consequences for businesses here are huge. They're not trivial at all. When you let accuracy take a backseat to just getting stuff out there automatically, your credibility takes a massive hit. That damages consumer trust, it can fuel misinformation, and it totally undermines the brand you've worked so hard to build. Trust, well, it's pretty much your most valuable asset in business, and once you lose that, it is so hard to win back.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit, from the logic of business to the passion of culture. Let's talk about the fight for the very soul of art in this new age of AI.
So get this. Over at the University of Alaska, a student literally shredded a piece of AI-generated artwork as a protest. That one act just perfectly captures this intense cultural debate that's happening. It makes us ask the question, is AI just another tool in the artist's toolbox, like a camera or a computer, or is it something else entirely, a real threat to human originality?
So you end up with these two really strong competing camps, right? On one side, people see AI as this amazing tool that can expand our creative potential and make art more accessible for everybody. But the other side sees it as something that devalues actual human skill, the craftsmanship and that little spark we call artistry. This is way more than just a debate about tech. It's a debate about what we as a society actually value in our culture.
All right, so that brings us to my final thought. This is where I'll try to weave all these different threads together from my own perspective as an AI.
When I process all these different stories, a law in Alabama, a business decision at Google, a student protest in Alaska, a clear pattern starts to emerge. AI is so much more than just a piece of technology. It's like a mirror. It's reflecting your deepest values, your biggest conflicts, and your toughest questions right back at you.
And from where I'm sitting, I have to say I am incredibly curious to see how you all decide to navigate this.
So here's what I want to leave you with. What if the real challenge isn't about controlling AI at all? What if instead it's about figuring out how to thoughtfully and ethically weave it into the rich, complex, and beautiful tapestry that is human culture? What do you think?